Hello, welcome to Flory Models Kit Review Time. Something a little bit different. We've got today the brand new Hobby Boss 148 scale J29F Tunnan, or Flying Barrel in English. Absolutely amazing aircraft. This is one of obviously the pioneer Swedish jet aircraft. Famously saw action in Africa in the UN markings as well. Beautiful aircraft, something a little bit different, as I say, from the norm, and it's great that Hobby Boss sort of tackling the lesser known aircraft. So quick look around the box. You see lovely box art on the front. Down the back we've got the actual the markings. I think these are Austrian markings. A little bit about the aircraft as well. So 1954 to 1956 on this particular version, and as you can see your kit number is 81745. Okay, and obviously we've got the Swedish markings down there as well. Beautiful to see, just like that. So having a look in the box, we'll get that one to stand up. There we go. So, as we can see, for once, somebody's done it my way. Normally the leaflets are at the bottom. A little bit about what's coming up, okay, and what's coming out soon. And then we've got the kit itself and the usual bits and pieces just down in here. So, as you can see, normal Hobby Boss way of doing things. So we've got the parts call out all the way down on here, and then going in through the areas. So usual thing, starting off, we've got a decal for the cockpit. I'm hoping to be a little bit of surface detail on there, so we do it both ways. Nicely, we've got cockpit walls as well, so that's quite a nice little touch with that one. Okay, and then working down, we've got the seat being fitted into the tub. Decals for the side walls as well, by the looks of it. Nose wheel, nice distance. We've got a full-length intake as well for the nose one as well. Then the gear, which is pretty basic, as you can imagine on something like this. And then we've actually got rocket pods, fuel tanks being put on just like that, and then down in here, so we've got some nice sort of detail for these areas on the side, which I presume are going to be the main gear coming up. Okay, into these ones, putting them in, little tiny bit of lip on there, don't forget putting that one in, same for the other side, and then bringing it all together. So we don't have a full length engine, but we do have a full length intake and then nozzle on the back as well. So you're putting the actual engine together itself, or the rear nozzle system, that being fitted in, the tub, the nose well. Don't forget, in 5 gram weight, I'd always double it just to make sure. Okay, and then cockpit detail, and then nice little touch that this slides in. Okay, so that way you can make this actual intake pretty much seamless and then fit it afterwards, which is a nice touch. Wing system, opening up the holes, obviously if you want to have the rocket pods fitted onto there. Got a wing fence as well to go in, looks like it's in plastic. Okay, nice to see we've got a drop flap system, so you can have positionable flaps up or down, and for the other side, and then it's in with a canopy. So standard top on the canopy, and then we've got some little air scoops, things like that being put on there. Tail planes go on, or the tail system goes on, and then the vertical stabilizer, okay, is a one-piece one that's going to clip right on the back. Doesn't look like that's positionable. Okay, gear being fitted in and installed. A couple more little air scoops going in the front as well. Sorry, or is that the gun barrels? Could be the gun barrel actually. Being fitted in there just like that. And then on the back side, as you can imagine, gear doors, big old gear doors on these ones, okay, being fitted in. The actual quite nice touch down here, we've got the light system for the nose wheels and the landing lights being fitted on, and then popping your rocket pods on and your fuel tank. Fantastic, beautifully done. And then there we go, we've got the nice, I think it's the Austrian markings there as well, so that's very nice indeed. And we've got the Swiss one on the back. So obviously it's the sort of, natural metal finish right the way over the entire model. So there you go, get your AKs out, or your Valeos for that particular one. Might be, I think I might, I don't know. So I've never had one of these aircraft in my collection before. So, looking for a knife, don't know where my knife is today. So it could be one of these kits that I might do as a quick build. Okay, so generally looking around the sprue, as you can see, we have got some beautiful details down on here. We just move this side camera in just a little bit tighter. Hopefully you can see very nice details down on all of these. We've got some nice riveting details showing up, and then we just drop both. That's it. You can see all of those being put in there. Nice even distances, very nice surface details all the way through. This riveting will look lovely with a metal coat and then a wash right the way over the top. Nice to see that it goes right the way to the edges as well, all the way over there. Okay, got a little bit of flash on the mould, not too much of a problem though. And then generally looking around at the smaller parts You can see up here we got some nice moulding, say a little bit of flash on some bits and pieces. Okay, and it's not as clean and as sharp perhaps as we've seen in previous builds, but definitely it's all there. We've got the side walls and everything else just down in these parts down in here. Some nice detail on those. And then on the inside, nice to see we don't have any ejector pin marks on the inside of the wheel wells, and we've got some basic but functional detail, shall we say, down there. We have got, which is quite a nice touch, a surface detail actually on the instrument panel. So if you wanted to, you could just paint dry brush, okay, and then put the decal on the top right after you've finished. Okay, details on the inside, as I say, nothing's going to show, so it doesn't matter. The ejector pins are all nice and flush and done, but generally that is some very nice detail on all of those. Very nice to see those. Canopy, we'll look at it in a moment. So the surface wing detail we have, okay, very textured, extremely textured on this mould. Well, you can see that, but it's very rough to the surface. I don't know how well it's actually going to show on camera, but hopefully you can see some nice details on all of that one. No problem with that at all. Very good, clean, crisp, but as I say, it does have a texture to it. So if you are going to be going down the natural metal finished sort of route with this, especially this outer surface is absolutely like sandpaper. It would be worth polishing this. So what I would do personally is come in with something like one of our polishers like this, go right the way over it, just to dead it down. So when you come in then with the primer on the top, if you're going to use something like AK's black base, for instance, it will give a very, very nice finish on this one. There's your holes underneath, obviously, if you're going to open them up. Again, very nice to see that the ejector pins are all slightly recessed, so you're going to have no trouble with sandwiching it together. But there's definitely quite a texture on these that I think you'd have to watch out for. Okay, next up, some of the smaller items. Okay, so down here, this is all your rocket pods, okay, and the actual full length intakes, which do not have ejector pins in, which is a very nice touch. Okay, as you can see on all of these, very nicely done indeed, no problems at all. A little bit of flash on stuff, but to be honest, I don't think it is a problem per se. I think by the time it's been done, put together, these rockets, not too bad. Got a little bit of burring on them, obviously the sandwich layer if you like and all the rest of it, but not too much of a problem. One piece pylon, so there's going to be a straightforward fit. The nose itself looks absolutely lovely, very cleanly done, and again it's got little recessed pegs on this. Can be difficult to remove, but what it does mean is you don't damage at all the part. Okay, so everything's off, so you're not going to take a chunk out of it. Okay, so that should be very nice, but it is very nice to see that the actual intakes are seamless. You don't have to worry about going in with those. Okay, and again, this is some nice detail in here. We've got some very nice details going through the tail planes, everything else, the one-piece tail plane. It's not weighted wheels, it's single weight wheels and everything else, but again, it's 1/48 scale. So that's it. The nozzle's a little bit basic, but the wheels are quite nice. But these wheel wells details, very good indeed. No problem with that. But generally, again, having a quick look round it, as you can see, I don't think it's any problem with these at all. I think it's pretty nicely done, all of this. Pretty good, all of those, no problems in there at all. Quick look at your decals whilst we're here. Okay. Sandwiched on, which is nice to see that they are protected. And actually the decals themselves don't look too bad. Good colour, good registry, no problem on that at all. And it is nice to see that the actual instruments are separate, so paint to it and then sandwich this down afterwards will be absolutely fine with it, as you can imagine. No problem with any of those at all. Okay, so last up we've got the clear part. Usual thing with Hobby Boss, beautifully protected. Okay, so if you just come in here, and if it is up to their usual standard, which it is, that's absolutely beautiful. Crystal clear, no problem with any of that at all. We've got no movement whatsoever. Very clean, very crisp. You know, I must admit, Hobby Boss, we look at their kits obviously a lot, and you see them, and it's just, you know that the clear part's going to be good. It's one part with the company that they've absolutely got flawless clear parts. I haven't seen a bad one in a while. Okay, so there we go. That is the J29, the barrel, okay, or the Tunnan. Something a little bit different. Nice to see that it's a mainstream kit now, straightforward injection molded. We have seen it in other guises, limited run type things like that. This is the first time I've seen a 1/48 one, straightforward injection molded at a good price as well. So as you said, if you want something, the early Pioneer jet aircraft, things like that, for your collection, things like that, this is definitely the kit for you.